Hello. Do you feel not seen, not heard, and most likely not good enough? A few years ago, I met in my coaching practice a lady in her mid 20s with physical problems, mental, emotional problems, which were very, very serious. But I was really surprised that a young person who's at the start of her career and basically just finished education, had a very good job at a very respectable company with these huge problems. And usually those problems would occur when you're in your midlife, in your 40s, in your 50s. But this lady was in her mid 20s. And I was like, whoa, what is happening here? So, first I thought it was an exception, but very soon it turned out that it became the rule. I did meet and am still meeting a lot of young people all over the world with mental illnesses, even more serious type of problem like depression. Some of you know someone who has committed suicide. Actually, to the point where we are today, that almost half, yeah, I'm talking about 50% of the young people between 18 and 24 years old have some kind of very, very serious mental health problems. But does that mean there's something wrong with you or there's something wrong with the younger generation? Well, clearly it is not. There is a different problem. And in my humble opinion, there are a couple of problems. One is that there is a huge disconnect between how the education system prepares us for the world of work and what the requirements are of the new world of work. There's a huge disconnect, and the disconnect is, I would say, growing every year rather than it's being bridged. Another problem is obviously very, very big global challenges, like climate change, inequality, migration, huge problems which have an impact on your future when you're young. Well, not only young, I'm lying awake about these challenges as well. It's like we didn't they didn't teach or they didn't give me the tools how to address those type of very, very big interconnected problems. And another one, which I'm sure you're all familiar with, is the meeting expectations from others. Yeah, there's a huge pressure from your parents, especially, but also from your friends. Yeah, we all heard about the fear of missing out on social media and everything related to that. And lastly, a problem is, and that's been a problem for, well, I think a couple of 100 years, that we think there is a disconnect between our mind and our body, between our brain and our body. That it's something like there's it's something, it stops like at your neck. Yeah, it's like, yeah, those are totally separate worlds, which is totally not true. So I think those are really the causes of the problem. So, in my opinion, there's nothing wrong with you. There's a lot of things wrong with the system. So, allow me to share what I did find, what what is what is behind all of that. I think we are being, I call it conditioned. You can call it hijacked. We are being told things which are not true. And basically it already starts at the very young age when your brain is being hijacked by parents because you're supposed to do what your parents want you to do. And then you go to school and you're supposed to do what teachers want you to do. And then you go to work and you're supposed to do what your boss tells you what to do. And then there's of course the media and entertainment industry. They all want to program you. Your body is being hijacked by the food, the fashion, and the pharmaceutical industry. They all, again, want to put you, well, basically, they want to make you addictive and they want to make you that you keep on buying their stuff. Hmm? Your future, my future, is being hijacked by government and these big multinationals, these big tech companies, among all of them, which are really pushing their agenda rather than our agenda. So the conclusion is, through all of this conditioning, we are not living our own life. We are living the life of someone else. So, what is needed is that we need to be unconditioned. We need to remove that conditioning. We need to break down those limiting beliefs because there's nothing wrong with you. Well, I'm not talking about some physical things which might be the case, but there's really not the case that you are not good enough, that you are not seen or heard. That doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. I just explained that I think there's something wrong with the system, mm, and the way the system is programming us. Mm. So when you remove those limitations, when you remove that conditioning, which can be done by way of understanding it and doing a bit of work, then you all of a sudden, I would say, a whole new world emerges, because you notice that you can do and be and collaborate much more at a much different and higher level than you were previously used to. And that is what is needed. That is what needed for you personally, for your health, but also for the health of other people, for the health of our planet. We need to collaborate, and we need to remove those restrictions. We need to remove those limitations. That can be done. Yeah. I did it myself. I did it with a lot of my clients and a lot of people and groups and teams I work with. And I would love to work with you to not only train your body, mm, but also to train your brain, because we need to deprogram our brain and reprogram it in the way we want. That doesn't mean I'm going to put some electronics on your head and try to do it. No, it's something which you um, basically have to do. I'm just helping you in that process to really start living your own life instead of the life of someone else. So, are you up to it? I would love to work with you.